Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap and talk about My Hero Academia Season 5, which is on episode 21 or episode 109 of the total number of episodes. When it comes to this episode right here, they adapted half of the chapter of 224 all the way up to 228. Now, when I look at it and discuss it with other people, it looks like to me they did it really fast in a certain way, and I decided to make a little small comparisons on certain details here and there when it comes to Toga stuff, you know. But we'll get to that just a moment and talk about it along the way when I'm summarizing it or recapping it in a vague detail. But if anything else, yeah, we see to it that the League of Villains ends up showing up at Deka City or something and having to being introduced by the Pro Hero Slide and Go whatsoever, you know, the Meta Liberation Army, and decides to be their guide and take them to the city, you know. Realizing this, they end up having to be introduced to a bunch of quirk users in the city. And we get to know that in this city right here, it is actually a base for all the Meta Liberation Army people, you know. And at the very beginning of the episode, we get to know how the Meta Liberation Army came into past, you know. But we have to it that the leader will later on get caught, get sent to jail, however, and committed taking his own life whatsoever. But he didn't know he had a son that will continue his legacy, you know, that kind of thing, etc. Now, we get to see to it that the League of Villains continue their fight starts the fight against the freaking quirk users of the Meta Liberation Army, you know, etc. But we have to it that when it comes to the adaptation, you know, it looks like they seem to be doing it nicely in a certain way, you know. I mean, when it comes to Giron telling Destro you just made 2 mistakes. If they really unleash their Nomu, this city is toast. But Destro's I don't think you understand. They won't even bring any Nomus at all because I already done my fair share of research, you know. When it comes to certain Nomus, one of them just got captured at the USJ incident, and as for the others, they were as for the one where Endeavor fought fought that powerful Nomu, which is back in season 4 whatsoever, the very end of it. Only one of them was captured or returned to them, you know, while the other Nomus were killed and destroyed off. You see here a League of Villains without the Noom, without nothing more than a group of delinquents, you know. And we get to see some other stuff where where the League of Villains actually struggle against multiple quirk users, you know. And then this is where we come into the Toga stuff right now, you know. So far, when it comes to adapting the Toga stuff adapting the Toga stuff, they actually they actually did a nice job on it so far, you know. I mean, we have to it where that woman whatsoever, Curious, I believe, which is the landmine quirk user whatsoever, she ends up having to try to interview Toga and find out what the heck is with her, you know. Why is it that she's doing this and that, and then etc. And then of course there are times where she can't really hold her own against her, you know. Well, that's because she has a lot of bodyguards, not to mention landmines. Her ability, landmine, anything she touches turns into an explosive. Her explosives aren't very strong, but she makes up for it with numbers, you know, that kind of thing. So we have to it that when it comes to the scene where Toga tries to suck out a lot of blood out of the people that was surrounding her and plan to attack her, unfortunately those people became landmine bombs, you know. And apparently they blew up right into her body, which apparently when it comes to the detailed aspect of those explosions on Toga's body, it didn't give out too much. Not a lot of detail was really shown in it, but when it comes to certain blood here and there, I guess it did somewhat of a good job. But like I said, the art detail wasn't really as phenomenal for some reason, even though it should have been, as it should be, you know. But that aside, I guess she was the eldest daughter of the Toga family whatsoever. And then when it comes to seeing her backstory here and there, and Curious is an interview with Destro, etc., it looks like to me it seems to be doing somewhat of a nice job, you know. Of course, of course, it was pretty crazy intent to how they somewhat adapted this in a certain right way and asked for what's a normal life whatsoever, you know. And then when it comes to like a certain scene, which I was really shocked about that they even managed to like adapted it somewhat correctly, is that when seeing her suck on the blood of a straw when she actually saw a kid of Sato who apparently got injured whatsoever, she cut him up, she injured him or cut him or something, then sucked his blood out of a straw. I thought that was somewhat of a nicely donely timed manner, though I really wish they could have done a little bit more of a detailed aspect, I guess. And we get to know a little bit more about Toga's like backstory, you know, how she ended up killing a bird, and then her mother and father were kind of disturbed by this, you know, that kind of thing. And how like Curious was just like playing around with Toga in a certain way, and says, and how she bit a bird and all that, you know, that kind of thing. Sorry for being a little like so disorganized right now. I'm trying to talk about Toga's backstory, where we get to know about her. So we get to know how she killed a bird, and her mother and father's like, hey, what the hell are you doing, you know, just calm it down, you know, that kind of thing. And when it came to middle school, you know, she injured up a boy when this guy ends up fighting someone, and then like Toga having to like suck his blood out of a straw, which seems disturbing. So I thought they did a nice job right there. Although like I said, the art detail was a little like small or off or something. And then this is where the scene comes in, where Toga having to like try to like get away from Curious, but unfortunately Curious used the freaking like equipment whatsoever and blast a landmine into her face, etc., you know. And we had to it that that Toga ends up using the last of her blood vial into her situation, where it comes to like Ochako's blood, you know. Eventually, when it comes to like Curious trying to pressure her right now, saying, I want to know what's up with you, you know, that kind of thing, she ends up managing to actually use like Ochako's quirk that she's disguising herself with right now, you know. And later on, she ends up having to like connect to all the other Metal Liberation Army members that was with Curious, and ends up having to make them float. And later on, touches her fingers to finish him off, and saying to herself like, I want to live a normal life and die normally. I want to live what's my normal, you know, that kind of thing, you know, etc. And yeah, there were some censorship where like we don't see the bodies falling down, but like we see like the bodies like falling in a certain background, and a lot of blood spluttered out or something, you know, etc. And yeah, like I said, like when it comes to like the details in Toga's backstory or whatsoever, when it comes to chapters like 225 to like 226, and her entering the shed on 227, like I said, the art detail was not very great, I guess. Like I said, and repeating myself, the art detail wasn't really that great. Now, when it comes to Shigaraki, and of course, like I said, Toga enters a shack and ends up resting there, or just passes out and unconscious. As for Shigaraki's time, you know, we get to know about him. But this is where they omitted some like some scenes where Redestro ends up being told about what happened to like Curious, you know, and we have to it that like let's see here, I don't know what the guy's name is, but like Tomoyasu, I believe, yeah, Tomoyasu ends up having to like torment Girin in a certain way, telling him something off. I don't know what it is, but like yeah, there was certain details that were omitted when it comes to chapter 227, where Tomoyasu was talking to Redestro, you know. I don't know if they might include that, but we'll have to see. As for Shigaraki, going back to Shigaraki, we have to it that like they somewhat adapted this scene correctly, but there was no announcement of what happened to Curious, you know. There was supposed to be an announcement of what happened to Curious whatsoever, but, you know, they cut that out. I don't know why. But we had to it that Shigaraki himself, like you said, like he's feeling very sleepy right now, you know, that kind of thing. And we had to it, we got to see like him showing some backstory of his, only a small bit of it, before he climbs onto a wall and ends up having to turn the group of people into dust with his decay, you know. of course they censored out the part where he was supposed to. I think they censored out like the vomit while he was trying to like make the attack when he's making the attack on them. But I guess like Bones might have like done something wrong, I guess. But whatever the case may be, whatever. So yeah, and then when it comes to like Spinner looking at Shigaraki, you know, he's like, is it me or is his decay like being a little like stronger than before, you know? And we have to it that we see Dabi's fight, you know, and it comes to, and he ends up having to like we get to see Dabi's intro fight, you know. We have to it that he ends up having to like clash against a Meta Liberation Army using like that uses ice whatsoever, you know. And we have to it that like Dabi ends up melting whatever ice he was holding on to, you know. But unfortunately, like looks like to me it wasn't like good enough for the guy to be stopped. This guy's quirk, he's able to control all kinds of ice that's at least around his area to a telekinesis level, I guess, you know. And he ends up transforming it into a icicle dragon whatsoever and attacks Dabi. Dabi tries to like hit it with this powerful blue flames, but unfortunately, like it doesn't do much, you know. And Compress is like, hey, yo, what the hell are you doing, Dabi? You gotta be aware of your surroundings whatsoever. Then we cut to a scene where Twice ends up finding Himiko Toga whatsoever, you know. And Twice is really shocked, saying, oh my gosh, what the hell is going on? Ah, man, this is really bad whatsoever. And we had to it that the guy Tonoyasu, like I said, that guy is like targeting Twice and Toga where he's at, and we get to know about his quirk ability, you know, etc. He ends up having to do some interview. He managed to do some research on Twice where this guy's called Bubaigawa Jin Twice, you know. His special ability is double, and in some ways it's the exact opposite of Toga whatsoever, you know. He multiplied himself, he was killed by himself, and ultimately lost himself, you know. A man who liberated his abilities to live an indulgent life and traumatized his heart as a result, you know, that kind of thing, you know. When it comes to like his own clones, you know, if you guys know and remember, and reminding you since it's shown in this episode that he ended up having to like lost his sanity after what happened here and there, you know. And of course, like Twice ends up gets introduced to a bunch of his clones or something, because we get to know Tomoyasu's ability, which is Skeptic. It's like Shadow Puppet. From refrigerators to desks, he could transform any human-sized object into a puppet that he could control at will whatsoever, you know. And then the chapter ends up where Twice is defending Toga, and his mask is about to be taken off whatsoever, you know. And preview of next episode is called Sad Man's Parade. So it looks like to me we're about to get into like Twice's backstory whatsoever, possibly. I don't know, but yeah, all I know is it's called Sad Man's Parade. Okay, when it comes to like in this episode, I guess they adapted it. I guess they adapted the chapters in a certain way nicely, but I guess the art detail wasn't that great, and people were complaining that the animation was very weak, which I think I can understand, you know. I mean, like, wish it could have been a little, like, better for me, as I was saying myself as well, you know. The art I know I'm being nitpicky and maybe being one of those people that's being critical, but hey, man, I don't blame anyone else being critical, especially myself here and there. But yeah, like I said, I wish the art could have been a little bit more detailed and could have been done better. Like I said, they adapted the chapters nicely. It's just they should have like put a little bit more effort into it, you know. Especially even one of my friends says like it's a little lifeless, you know. It's actually been very lifeless, and they're not really like it looks like to me they didn't put a lot of effort into it, which I will have to somewhat agree, or should I say I should agree on. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out. Bye bye. Toot toot.